enough kada madam?
Okay ma'am.
Good morning everyone and a warm welcome to all students for the chemistry webinar. It's the time for lesson 3 in periodic classification of elements. Dear children, in our previous sessions which were taught by Dr. B. Sampath Kumar Garu, PGT Chemistry from TSMS Shankarpatnam Karimnagar district, Sir has explained you regarding the two sessions. So the first session is regarding the salient features of long form of periodic table, and the second session is regarding the classification of elements into S, P, D and F blocks, and also based on the chemical properties, the elements were divided into 4 types. So what are they? Inert gases, then representative elements, transition elements and inner transition elements. And today in our session, Sir is going to explain you the periodic trends. So, dear children,
I want to
mention you an important thing.
Periodic
trends are very important, right? Periodic trends are very important for your further classes also, because in your first year you are having 1A group elements, 2A group elements, 3A group, 4th group. And in your second year, you are having the P block family and also the transition elements. In all these groups, you had to go through the periodic trends. See what happens to the periodic properties down the group across the period. So that's why this is a very important topic. So please watch the lesson very carefully and write down the notes. I think everyone is ready with a pen and book. So let's welcome Dr. Sampath Kumar Garu. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
So a happy welcome to you, sir. So yesterday's session was very wonderful. So you have explained very clearly about the classification of elements. And today, I think this session will be more interesting than the previous one.
Yes, thank madam. Yes. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, children. Today we are going to deal with the chapter classification of elements and periodicity and properties, intermediate first year chemistry, chapter 2, session 3. This is Dr. B. Sampath Kumar, PGT Chemistry, TSMS Shankarapatnam, Karimnagar district. My subject coordinator is Srimati Polu Sridevi ma'am, Principal, TSMS Kudur, Vikarabad district. Children, these are the topics we have discussed in the last session. Electronic configuration of elements and the periodic table. Electronic configuration and types of elements, S, P, D and F blocks. Classification into types, metals, non-metals and metalloids. So this is my today's session overview, children. Periodic trends in properties of elements, atomic radius, ionization enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy, electronegativity, valency or oxidation states, anomalous properties of second period elements, periodic trends and chemical reactivity. So children, let us see one by one. Periodic trends, let us see children here in this periodic table. Let us see the reactivity of elements. We know very well the S block elements, P block elements, D block elements and F block elements. So these elements are having different reactivity. So how the reactivity, let us see in the periodic table. See children, if we go along with the periods, that is from left to right, the reactivity of starting elements is more reactive. Children, I have written with the pink color here, more reactive. The S block elements are more reactive, which are left side to the periodic table. And you come along with the period like that. The next is D block elements. These are modulatively reactive, means the reactivity compared to S block decreases for D block elements. And while going towards the P block elements, the reactivity again increases. See here, more reactivity. So when we go along with the period from left to right, the reactivity of the elements here starting is more reactive and reactivity decreases and again reactivity increases. Means gradually the reactivity of the elements along with periods decreases and again increases. In the same way, if we observe the reactivity of elements in the groups, here this is the vertical columns we have to see in groups. In groups top to bottom, if we see the left side of the periodic table, this top elements are less reactive and the bottom elements are more reactive. Means in a group from top to bottom towards the left side of the periodic table, the reactivity of the elements increases. Top to bottom, the reactivity of the elements increases. Here, the less reactive elements, here more reactive elements. When we observe the reactivity of P block elements in the groups, here the top elements are having more reactive compared to the bottom elements. Means in S block, from top to bottom, the reactivity increases. In P block, from top to bottom, the reactivity decreases. So why this happens, children? Means in period or group, the reactivity is not same for all elements. So why the reactivity varies? Let us see by observing the periodic properties. So these are the periodic properties. Children, here is ionization energy, electron affinity, atomic radius, non-metallic character, metallic character. So these are the periodic properties. Along with this, electronegativity also there. So these are the periodic properties. How the properties varies in groups and in periods, we have to observe. Then only we come to know the reactivity of elements. Why the reactivity of elements is decreasing and again increasing in the periods, and in groups for S block elements top to bottom increases and P block elements top to bottom decreases. The first one, children, atomic radius. So what is atomic radius, children? See, atomic radius is the distance between the center of the nucleus and the electron cloud of the outermost energy level. What is atomic radius? The distance between the center of nucleus. See, children, this is the center. This is the center of the nucleus and center of the atom, and the electron cloud. Here, this is the electron cloud totally, and this is the outermost electron cloud. Here, this I have labeled here electron, and the distance between this center of nucleus and this outer electron is called its atomic radius. Actually, atomic radius is very small, children. That is approximately 1.2 into 10 power minus 10 meters. It is very, very, very small. Electron cloud surrounding the atom does not have a sharp boundary. See, children, already you are observing here. This is the atom. This is the nucleus. In this nucleus, having positive charged species protons, and around this nucleus, the negative charged electrons are there, and this is the electron cloud. Here the electron cloud surrounding the atom does not have a sharp boundary. You are observing here. So practically it is not convenient to isolate an individual atom and determine its radius. So children, practically it is not convenient to isolate an individual atom and determine its radius. That's why here the following radii are experimentally significant. These are the experimentally significant radii. Already we have known: covalent radius, metallic radius, ionic radius, and van der Waals radius. So let us see, children, one by one. That is the covalent radius. Wait, children. Covalent radius. Covalent radius is half of the internuclear separation between the nuclei of two single bonded atoms of the same species, that is homonuclear. See, children, here this is actually covalent molecule formed by two atoms, that is the two hydrogen atoms, homo species. These are here the distance between the two nucleus is d. To get the covalent radius, here the half of the internuclear distance. So this is therefore r is equal to d by 2. Then we can get the covalent radius r. So next, metallic radius. The metallic radius is half of the total distance between the nuclei of two adjacent atoms in a metallic cluster. See, children, actually covalent radius we will see in the covalent bonded atoms, molecules. Here metallic radius we will see in the metallic cluster. Next, children, ionic radius. The ionic radius is here the distance between the nucleus and the electron in the outermost shell of an atom, of an ion. Ionic radius is determined in a crystal lattice. So this is same like atomic radius, children. The distance between the center of the nucleus and outermost shell of an ion. Next, van der Waals radius. So let us see the van der Waals radius. It is defined as one half the distance between the nuclei of two identical non-bonded isolated atoms. See, children, actually van der Waals attractions or van der Waals bond is exists between the atoms, inert gas atoms. See here, helium and helium. These are the two atoms. The van der Waals attractions are there in this. So here it is defined as one half the distance between the nuclei of two identical non-bonded. These are non-bonded atoms. So in the case of ionic or covalent or metallic, they are bonded. Metallic bond, in covalent bond, in ionic bond we have seen. But in the case of van der Waals, these are non-bonded isolated atoms. Just they come closer to each other, and then only we have to see the distance between the two nuclei. That distance is d. Here we can get the van der Waals radius r is equal to d by 2. Actually, these van der Waals attractions exist in the 18th group elements, children. That is the inert gas elements. Here ionic bond exists between the S block and P block, that is especially first and second group and the sixth and seventh group elements. Next, covalent bond exists between the generally seventh group elements. Hydrogen, hydrogen, fluorine, fluorine means F2, Cl2, Br2, so like that. Homo diatomic atoms. And metallic bond exists in the S block, P block, S block, and some of the elements of P block and D block and F block elements. Next, children, atomic radius versus ionic radius. This is very important, children. So we have to concentrate more here because so many students do wrong here. Comparison of the radius of ions and atom. Here let us see the ionic radius of a positive ion is smaller than the atomic radius of its parent element. See children, actually this is the atom, neutral atom, and its ion is this one. This is the sodium atom and this is the sodium ion. Means after losing losing the electrons, we can get the sodium ion. Here the radius of this sodium ion is smaller than the radius of the parent element. We are observing here. So what is the radius here? Sodium ion 116 picometers. For sodium it is 154 pm. So the ionic radius of a positive ion is smaller than the atomic radius of its parent element. So always you try to remember, children, the cation radius is always less than the neutral atom. Right. In the same way, here the ionic radius of a negative ion is larger than the atomic radius of its parent element. See children, here we are observed the positive ion and the neutral atom, and here we are observing the neutral atom and negative ion. The ionic radius of a negative ion is larger than the atomic radius of its parent element. See here, chlorine atom atomic radius is 99 pm and its ion Cl-1 ion, that is the ion atomic radius is 167 picometers. Therefore, here the ionic radius of a negative ion is larger than the atomic radius of the parent element. So see children, here this is the neutral atom. Here after gaining the electrons, that is when we add the electrons to the neutral atom, here plus electrons, we can get the negative ion. We can get the negative ion or anion. This is very important. So when we add the electrons to the neutral atom, we can get the negative ion or anion. And when we remove the electrons, or when an atom is losing electrons, then we can get the positive ion or cation. So here just observe the radius of this cation and this neutral atom and this anion. I have already given in size. Here cation is with smaller size compared to the neutral atom, and this is also small when compared to the it's a negative ion or anion. So this is the order of radius. Here see the positive ion is less in size compared to the neutral atom, which is less in size compared to the negative ion. This is very important, children. In so many times some questions are asked in the entrance examinations. You try to understand this one. So always the cation size is less compared to its neutral atom, and the neutral atom size is always less compared to its negative ion size. Next, children, here isoelectronic species. What are isoelectronic species? Here iso means same, electrons means same number of electrons. So here same number of electron species are called isoelectronic species. Let us see. Atoms and ions which contain the same number of electrons are called isoelectronic species. What are isoelectronic species? Atoms and ions which contain the same number of electrons are called isoelectronic species. For example, let us see. Here, oxygen. Oxygen, after getting 2 electrons, this is the oxide ion, O minus 2. And here, fluorine atom, after getting 1 electron, this is a fluoride ion, F minus 1. And this is the neon. This is the sodium ion, after losing 1 electron. So this is became like Na plus 1. And this is the magnesium ion, after losing 2 electrons. So Mg plus 2. So these particles have the same number of electrons, 10 electrons each. See, children, actually the atomic number of oxygen is 8 only. So after gaining these 2 electrons, 8 plus 2, 10 electrons. And here atomic number of fluorine is 9. So after gaining this 1 electron, 1 plus 9, totally 10 electrons. So like that, here neon, 10 electrons. So this atom, so not lose any electrons or not gain any electrons. And here sodium, actually atomic number is 11, but means 11 electrons are there in this sodium. But after losing 1 electron, after losing 1 electron, this is with 10 electrons only. And here magnesium atomic number is 12. So after losing 2 electrons, this is having 10 electrons only. Right. So their radii would be different because of their nuclear charges. So actually all these particles are having the same number of electrons, children, but their radii may not be same. It may be different because of their nuclear charges. How? Let us see. These are the isoelectronic species. These are all particles are having same number of electrons. So actually, here what is the structure of atom? What we can assume? Here in center nucleus is there. In that protons are there, and around that nucleus electrons are there. But here in this particles, in all these particles, only 10 number of electrons are there. So we can assume that so the atomic radius or the radius of all these particles is same. But here their radii would be different because of their nuclear charges. Now let us see why the radius is different for these particles. Here the size, magnesium ion is very, very less in size compared to the sodium ion, and which is less compared to the neutral atom neon, which is also less in size compared to the fluoride ion, which is also less size compared to the oxide ion. So why this size is here actually size left to right increasing or from right to left decreasing. So already we have studied negative here positive ion size is less compared to the neutral one, and the neutral atom's size is less compared to the negative means or anions. So same trend we have followed here. Here these are the positive species having less size compared to the neutral one, which is also having less size compared to the negative species. So actually here why this is, because let us see here each species is having 10 electrons, but each species is not having the same number of protons. Let us see. Here magnesium is actually atomic number 12. So 12 protons are there in this nucleus. Here 12 protons, for sodium 11 protons, for neon 10 protons, for fluorine 9 protons, for oxygen 8 protons present in their nucleus respectively. So see the attraction between these 12 protons and 10 electrons. And see the attraction between these 8 protons and 10 electrons. Where the attraction is more, where the attraction is less. So when here the more positive charges are there the attraction is more. Here this 12 positive species attract the 10 electrons more strongly. That's why here the atomic radius of magnesium ion is very, very less compared to the sodium and compared to the neon and so on and so forth. So here the ionic radius of this oxide is more compared to these. Why? Because there is less attraction between these 8 protons and 10 electrons. Next, let us see the children. Periodicity of atomic radius means this atomic radius, how it varies in group and in period. Right, atomic radius in group. In a group from top to bottom, atomic radius gradually increases. What happens, children? Atomic radius in group? Atomic radius gradually increases. Why? See the reason here. On moving down in a group, the number of shells increases. Consequently, the distance between the nucleus and the outermost electron increases. So already we have seen, children, in the last session, in a periodic table, first period elements are having only one shell. Second period are having 2 shells. Third period elements are having 3 shells. So like that, from top to bottom, in a group, if we observe, the number of shells increases. So therefore, the atomic radius, what is atomic radius? The distance between the center of the nucleus and the outer electrons. Here the number of shells, when the number of shells increases, automatically the atomic radius increases. That's why on moving down in a group, the number of shells increases and consequently the distance between the nucleus and the outermost electrons increases. See, children, here the atomic radius in a period, what happens? The atomic radius in a period gradually decreases from left to right. So why the atomic radius decreases? Let us see. This is the reason. In a period, as the atomic number increases, the number of protons increases across the period. But the extra electrons are only added to the same quantum shell. See, children, here I will explain. In a period, as the atomic number increases, let us see, children, these are the same period elements. Here is lithium, and after lithium we can get lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. So here lithium atomic number 3 and neon atomic number 10. Which period elements these are? Actually, these are the second period elements, children. Simply by seeing the electron configuration, we can tell here this lithium atom is having 2 shells. n is equal to 1 and n is equal to 2. That's why this belongs to the second period element. And this is also having two shells. That's why this is also second period element. Now, here in a period, as the atomic number increases, see here, this is the second period elements I am comparing. Here, from left to right, the atomic number increases. Here only atomic number 3, here atomic number 10, that is the neon. The number of protons increases across the period. See children, here atomic number 3, that's why here 3 protons. But here atomic number 10, that's why here 10 protons present in the nucleus of neon atom. But the extra electrons are only added to the same quantum shell. See children, at the starting of the period, that is in lithium, here in valence shell, 1 electron is there. The electronic configuration is 2 and 1. Because atomic number is 3. So 3 protons and 3 electrons are there. Here the electronic configuration is 2 and 1. In first orbit 2 electrons, second orbit 1 electron. Here the atomic number is 10, means 2, 8. Its electronic configuration is 2 and 8. Here actually this second period, lithium is having only 1 electron, but neon is having 8 electrons. See children, actually the number of shells are not increased from lithium to neon, but the number of electrons increased, or the number of protons increased in the nucleus. Here without increasing the shell number, the protons number increased, and the electrons number also increased. Here within the radius, that is, this is having the only 2 shells or 2 orbits, and here neon also having 2 orbits, but neon having 10 protons in the nucleus and here 8 electrons in the outer orbit, but here lithium 3 protons and only 1 electron. Now see the attraction between this positive species and the negative species. The attraction between these 3 protons and 1 electron is less compared to the attractions of 8 protons and 10 protons and 8 electrons. So see children, here only 3 protons are there in lithium, but here 10 protons. How many protons extra there? 7 protons. So this 7 protons charge is nothing but the effective nuclear charge. What we call effective nuclear charge. So due to this effective nuclear charge on the valence electrons, here the electron cloud slightly decreases or contracts. So that's why the atomic radius decreases. See children, once again I will read out this one. In a period, as the atomic number increases, the number of protons increases across the period, right? Number of protons increased. But the extra electrons are only added to the same quantum shell. Here the extra electrons added to the same quantum shell, that is n is equal to 2 only. Therefore, the effective nuclear charge towards the outermost electrons increases. The effective nuclear charge means here 7 protons extra. So this 7 protons attraction is called effective nuclear charge. This is towards the outermost electron increases and drawing the outermost electrons closer to the nucleus. So as a result, the electron cloud contracts and the atomic radius decreases. Next children. This is the atomic radius in group and period. See, let us see. In a group from top to bottom, the atomic radius increases as we have discussed in the previous slide. And in the period from left to right, atomic radius decreases. Here the atomic radius increases. What is the reason? The number of shells increases. Here the atomic radius decreases means, what is the reason? Because of the effective nuclear charge on the valency electrons. Next children, the lanthanide contraction. So here, lanthanide, what is the lanthanide contraction? Means the abnormal decrease in the size of lanthanides, that is third B group, and their trivalent ions is called as lanthanide contraction. Children, we know very well, lanthanides belongs to third B group. So the lanthanides, actually third B group, it is a group, it is not a period, it is a group. In a group, just now we have seen the atomic radius increases. In a group, from top to bottom, atomic radius increases. But in the third group, in the third B group, here lanthanides are there, their radius from top to bottom not increases. So here, but instead of increasing the atomic radius here decreases. So that is called a lanthanide contraction. Here, see children, the abnormal decrease in the size of lanthanides and their trivalent ions is called as lanthanide contraction. What is the reason? What is the reason for decreasing the size of lanthanides in the third B group? So let us see. This is because of poor shielding effect of f orbitals. What children? Why the lanthanide contraction is taking place? Because of poor shielding effect of f orbitals. Why these are having poor shielding effect? That is due to large size and less dense of f orbitals. Actually children, here we have 4 orbitals, s orbital, p orbital, d orbital and f orbital. S orbital is very near to the nucleus. It is with less size and more dense compared to the p, and this is also less size and more dense compared to d, and which is also more dense and less size compared to f. That is, f is having large size and less dense. That's why the nuclear attraction over valency electrons is greater, because here the differentiating electron which is entering into the f orbital is not shielding the nucleus attraction over valency electron. That's why here simultaneously the number of protons in the nucleus of lanthanides increases and the effective nuclear charge is more on valency electrons. So that decreases the size of lanthanides. That's why, so this is called as lanthanide contraction. What are the consequences? Here, the consequences of lanthanide contraction is hardness, melting and boiling points increases from cerium to lutetium. So children, after lanthanum from 58 to 71, cerium to lutetium, the hardness, melting and boiling points increases. This is due to only lanthanide contraction. It is difficult to separate lanthanides even by techniques like chromatography. See children, here, it is difficult to separate lanthanides. Means when the mixture of lanthanides, that is the lanthanide elements or mixture is there, then it is difficult to separate. Like the techniques chromatography. Actually, chromatography is one of the techniques to separate the mixture. Already we have seen children in 9th class, I think, the separation techniques. So we have so many separation techniques of a mixture. So those are distillation, evaporation, crystallization, sublimation, decanation, filtration, sieving, hand picking, magnetic separation, So etc. So many techniques are there. If those techniques are not possible to separate the mixture, then we go for the chromatography. This is the ultimate technique. Actually, with this chromatography, each and every mixture we can separate. But here, it is difficult to separate the lanthanides, even by techniques like chromatography. So why this is? Because of lanthanides contraction only. The next consequence is inert pair effect. Let us see here what is inert pair effect in the future slides. This is the inert pair effect, children. Here, what is the definition of inert pair effect? See, the non-participation of NS electrons in a chemical bonding is called inert pair effect. What is inert pair effect? The non-participation of NS electrons in a chemical bonding is called inert pair effect. So, see children here, what is the reason? Because of lanthanide contraction only. Here, if we see this example, for example, here thallium. Thallium is actually third A group. What are the third A group elements? Boron, aluminum, gallium, indium, thallium. And this thallium belongs to third A. That's why this element can easily lose 3 electrons. The general electronic configuration is Ns2Np1. Means here 3 valence electrons are there. But this thallium won't lose these 3 electrons, valence electrons. Why? Here the non-participation of Ns electrons takes place. Means these Ns electrons do not participate in the chemical bond. This is due to the actually lanthanide contraction, the size decreases. That's why this non-participation of this Ns electrons takes place. Means these electrons are more attracted towards the nucleus. So that's why this element do not lose this Ns electrons easily. So that's why here thallium plus 3 is less stable, but thallium plus 1 is more stable. So it loses only 1 electron. These Ns electrons are not participate in the chemical bond, which we call inert pair effect. Here Ns electrons are 2 electrons. This is a pair. This pair is not participating in the chemical reaction. That is called inert. So that is why it is called as inert pair effect. What are the consequences of this inert pair effect? Here the oxidation state is 2 units less than the group oxidation state. See, actually, children, here the group number is 3. Therefore, the oxidation state also should be 3, actually, plus 3. But here, due to this inert pair effect, these Ns electrons are not participating. So that's why here 2 units less than the group oxidation number. The next one is the down the group, the stability of lower oxidation state increases. See here, actually thallium plus, instead of plus 3 here plus 1 increases. Means if we see this third A group, the remaining group element means third A boron, aluminum, gallium, indium. If we see the oxidation states of these elements, those are with the plus 3 are stable, but coming to the thallium, here plus 1 is more stable. This is because of lanthanide's contraction. So children, let us see the here so far we have discussed the atomic radius. So here what is atomic radius, how it varies in group and period, and what is ionic radius, what is covalent radius and metallic radius, van der Waals radius, what is inert pair effect, what is the lanthanide contraction. Those are all related to atomic radius. Now let's see the next periodic property, ionization enthalpy. So let us see the periodic property ionization enthalpy. So children, so actually here we have more syllabus here. Actually, there is no time. So let's see the conclusion. So far, what we have learned. So what we have learned, the periodic trends in properties of elements and atomic radius. So these two topics we have learned in this session, and the remaining topics let us continue in the next session, children. And this is the some exercise for you. Okay, children. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sampath sir. Thank you for a very clear explanation regarding the periodic trends. So today we have discussed about
Thank you,
atomic
madam.
radius, isn't it, sir?
Yes, madam. Yes,
So
madam. Thank
in
you.
our next session, we will explain ionization enthalpy, then electropositivity, electronegativity, then oxidation states, then how does all these properties vary in a group and in a period, isn't it, sir?
Yes, madam.
So, dear children, sir has very clearly explained you what is the meaning of periodicity. See how the seasons repeat, like summer season, rainy season, winter season, autumn season. Like that, the periodicity. So it recurs after regular intervals. So the properties of elements will recur. Means the properties of elements means water. Those elements which have similar properties will be repeated at regular intervals of time and they will fall in groups, right? Isn't it? See, that's what the periodicity in properties. And we have learned about atomic radius. So in our next sessions, we are going to learn about ionization enthalpy, then electron gain enthalpy, electronegativity, and which is the most electronegative element in the periodic table, and which is the element which is having highest electron affinity, right? And we will learn about the oxidation states and all in our next session. So thank you, Sampath sir, for a very clear explanation.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
So
Thank
we'll
you.
meet again in our next session, sir.
Okay, madam. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Shall I quit, madam?
Yes, sir. Sir, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
చాలా బాగా చెప్పారు సార్ ఇనట్ పెయిర్ ఎఫెక్ట్ దాకా ఈరోజు.
Okay,
మన
madam.
నెక్స్ట్ సెషన్ లో ఇంకా మిగతా అవి డీల్ చేద్దురు కానీ సార్ అప్పుడు కంప్లీట్ గా అయనైజేషన్ ఎంథాల్పీ ఇంకా మిగతా పీరియాడిక్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ అన్ని క్లోజ్ అయిపోతాయి సార్ మనకి.
ఓకే మేడం, కానీ ఇంకా చాలా ఉంది మేడం ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయడానికి. అది
అదే సార్ చాలా ఉంది. నేను అదే అనింది, మీరు ఇదంతా ఒక క్లాస్ లో అయిపోద్ది అంటే నేను మార్నింగ్ చెప్పింది అదే మీకు.
అదే మేడం
అవ్వదు సార్, ఎందుకంటే సార్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ చేసేటప్పుడు చాలా టాపిక్స్ వస్తూ ఉంటాయి సార్ మధ్యలో మధ్యలో. కదా సార్, అది ఆయన బాగుంది సార్ ఇవాళ సెషన్.
ఓకే మేడం.
ఓకే మ్యామ్, థ్యాంక్ యూ. మంజరి మ్యామ్, మంజరి మేడం, థ్యాంక్ యూ. ఓకే సార్, మనం లీవ్ అవుదాం సార్.
ఓకే మేడం, ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Good morning, children. I am Prasanna Lakshmi, Principal TSMS Aminabad. Today we are back with accounting part 2, children. As last class we have learned journal entries. The same part 2 we are going to continue today. Here, see, one secret I want to tell you about accountancy, how to score more marks. Here, you have to learn the formats perfectly. As you start drawing the perfects only, your marks will start. When you draw the line, you write a date column, particular column, there only you will be getting 1.5 mark. And for every one journal entry, you will be getting 2 marks, children. So you have to be very careful in drawing the format, writing the particulars. So to present all these, as you have seen in the last class, your favorite teacher, that is C.H. Stalin Babu, as he is working as a PhD Commerce in DSMS Chodaram, Janagam. Today he is back to explain few more problems with few more journal entries. So what you have to do is, you have to complete all the instructions what all sir has said in the previous class, so that you can understand more in the present class, children. So you need to concentrate and never forget that accounting weapons are your notebook, pen, scale, pencil. These all every time you have to have with you. Always you have to draw the format with a pencil, so that if any mistake goes, you have a chance to change the columns or write clearly the details of the columns. Okay, children. So you have to be careful in that and learn the format, as accountancy is very easy subject. Once you learn the format, you'll get a confidence of doing the subject very well. Okay, children. So get ready. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir. So you can start your class, sir. Sir, start your class.
Okay. Madam, is it audible, madam?
Yes, it's clear.
Good afternoon to all the principals, teachers, viewers, and my dear students. Today, I am going to teach you second session from the journal entry. Myself, C.H. Stalin Babu, PGT Commerce from TSMS Chowdaram, Jingam. My coordinator is Prasanna Lakshmi Madam, Principal, TSMS, Aminabad, Warangal. So let us recap what we learned in the first session. In the first session, we learned about journal. What is journal? Journal is nothing but a day book or a day record in which we record all the business transactions in chronological order. So it is also called as book of prime entry or original entry. Journalizing. What is meant by journalizing? Journalizing is nothing but the process of recording business transactions is called journalizing. Journalizing is nothing but it is a process. How do we process the business transaction while entering journal entry? So third one is journal entry. What is meant by journal entry? Nothing but entries made in the journal book is called journal entry. So after that, we learned classification of accounts and rule of debit and credit, and we solved two problems previously. So let us recap with the classification of accounts and rule of debit and credit and going into the solution of problem. It will make you perfect to do the problem. So let us start today's session with classification of accounts. Classification of accounts. So accounts are classified into three types. You all know, everyone knows that accounts are classified into three types. What are they? They are personal account, real account, and nominal account. Accounts are classified into three types: personal accounts, real accounts, and nominal accounts. Let us see detailedly one by one. What is the first one? Personal account. This personal account is again classified into three types. Personal account again classified into three types. What are they? The first one is natural person. Personal account classified into three types. One is natural person. What is meant by natural person? Natural person is nothing but the human beings. The human beings generally believe that we are the creatures of God. So, for example, like you and me, Ram, Rahim, Akbar, Rama, Uma, Sita, etc. These are comes under natural person. Personal account is classified into three types. In that, first one is natural persons. So, what is the second one? The second one is opposite to the natural person. What is the opposite to the natural? Yes, artificial. The second one is artificial persons. These artificial persons are created by laws according to the laws. Example, banks like State Bank of India, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, and firms or institutions like LIC, Wipro Limited, L&T Limited, TCS Limited, etc. And universities like Kakatiya University, Usmania University, Shatavahana University. Personal account is classified into three types. One is natural person, second one is artificial person, and the finally third one is representative person's account. So this representative personal account deals with outstanding expenses and outstanding incomes. So what is meant by outstanding expenses? Is nothing but the expenses payable. Outstanding incomes means the income receivable. So the personal account is classified into three types: natural person, artificial person, and representative persons. So what is our second account? It is real account. So real account deals with cash, assets, and properties. Real accounts deals with cash, assets, and properties. So what is mean by assets? Do you know what do you mean by asset? Asset is nothing but a thing which can improve the earning capacity of the business, which can improve the revenue of the business is called asset. I think everyone know about cash. So real account deals with cash and assets. These assets are two types. These assets are two types. What are they? They are tangible assets and intangible assets. What is meant by tangible? Tangible means which can we see and touch. Tangible means which can see and touch. For example, land, buildings, furniture, machinery, etc. Intangible assets. Intangible assets means which we cannot see. Which we cannot see and we cannot touch. Like goodwill, copyrights, patents. So what is meant by goodwill? A good reputation of the business. So the good reputation gives business more income, more revenue, it generates more revenue, but we can't see. So the real account deals with cash assets. So what is the final account? Third one, nominal accounts. The third one is nominal accounts. Nominal accounts deals with two sets. What are the two sets? One is expenses and losses. Another one is incomes and gains. So the nominal accounts deals with expenses and losses, incomes and gains. So every business has some expenditure like salaries, wages, rent, etc. So when we observe the what paid itself reveals it is an expenditure. Like every business has some incomes and gains like commission received, discount received, rent received, like etc. When we see the word received, it reveals it is an income. When it is paid, it is an expenditure. So the finally accounts are classified into three types. What are they? Personal account, real account, and nominal account. So why we are repeating every time this? This is most important topic. If you know the classification of accounts and accounting principles and the golden rules, then it is very easy to do the problems journal. So let us look on the classification of accounts and rule of debit and credit. So accounts are classified into three types: personal account, real account, and nominal account. For these accounts, we have to learn the principles of accountancy, the rule of debit and rule of credit. So every business transaction has two aspects. What are they? One is receiving aspect, another one is giving aspect. The receiving aspect is called debit and the giving aspect is called credit. So for this debit and credit, we have to know the rules for three accounts like personal account, real account, and nominal account. So what is the principle of personal account? Is debit the receiver, credit the giver. The principle of personal account is debit the receiver, credit the giver. That means the receiver account should be debited and the giver account should be credited. What is the rule? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. So then second account, real account. Real account deals with cash assets. What is the rule? Debit what comes in and credit what goes out. The principle is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. That means real account deals with cash and assets. So whenever cash and assets coming into the business, they are debited. Whenever the cash assets going out of the business, it should be credited. So the final account, nominal account. Nominal account deals with expenses and losses and income and gains. The rule is debit all the expenses and losses, credit all the incomes and gains. If you are perfect in the classification of accounts and the rule of debit and credit, it is very easy to solve the problems in journal entry. So for the entire accounts is depend on this classification of account and rule of debit and credit. So give more important for this table and go thorough with the table. Then it is very useful to solve the problems. Let us move to problems. So problems are journals. So previously we solved two problems on the journal. In the today's session, we are going to solve two more questions on the journal. Dear students, turn your textbook, page number 62, third problems, question number 2. Roman letter 3, problems, question number 2. Pause the journal entries in the books of Mr. Rom. I think everyone opened the textbook. page number 62. Question number 2. Pause the journal entries in the books of Mr. Ram. Dear children, open your notebook and draw the format of the journal. So everyone know how many columns in journal? There are 5 columns. Date column, particulars column, LF, debit amount, credit amount. Draw the 5 columns in your notebook and write the title on the top of the table. On the top of the table. Journal entries in the books of Mr. Ram. Write the title. Journal entries in the books of Mr. Ram. Okay. Let us see the transactions. So, on 2019, March 1st, Ram commenced business with cash rupees 1 lakh. So, we are going to journalize the transaction. So, we learned in the previous chapter, we learned the steps of journalizing. When you journalizing, I say to keep in your mind that you have to think on behalf of the business, not on behalf of the owner. So now try to understand the given transaction. Ram commenced. What is mean by commenced? It is nothing but started. Ram started business with cash, rupees 1 lakh. Then what is coming into the business? Cash. Cash 1 lakh is coming into the business. Who is the giver? Ram is the giver. So we identified 2 accounts affected in the transaction, or one is cash account, another one is Ram account. The 2 accounts involved are cash account and Ram account. So cash account. The first one is cash account. So we identified the accounts. Now we have to find out the nature of the account. So cash comes under personal account or real account or nominal account. Yes, it comes under real account. Cash comes under real account. Then what is the principle of real account? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Here cash is coming into the business. So cash account should be debited. So what is the second account? Ram. Who is he? He is the owner of the business. So Ram comes under which account? Personal, real or nominal? So Ram is a person. So he comes under personal account, natural person. Then what is the principle of personal account? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here Ram is giving cash to the business. So he is the giver of the cash. So his account should be credited. So we identify 2 accounts. One is cash account, and the one is Ram account. Who is he? Owner. So whenever the owner provides cash to the business, instead of writing his account, we write his capital account. Then what is the entry? Cash account data to Ram account. That means Ram's capital account. Cash account data to Ram's capital account. So let us enter this journal in the format. First we have to write date in the date column. In the date column, first you write the year. What is the year? 2019. Under the year, you write the month. What is the month? March. What is the day? On 1st. On 1st. So what is the debit account? Cash account. So in the particulars column, we have to write the journal entry. First we write the debit account. What is the debit account? Cash. Cash account followed by DR. This DR represents cash account is debited. First we write the debit account. What is the debit account? Cash account. Cash account data. DR means data. That represent this account is debited. In the second line, you leave a some space and write TO2 and write the name of the account credited. What is the name of the account credited here? Arms capital account. What is the amount? 1 lakh. Write 1 lakh in debit column against debit account. You should not write anything in the credit amount column against debit account. So make a small hyphen here. And what is the credit account? Ram's capital. So write the 1 lakh in the credit amount column against credit account. In the debit column, you make a small hyphen. You should not write anything here. So in the first line, in the particulars column, we write the debit account and credit account. Finally, in the third line, we write the narration of the transaction. Generally, narration starts with being. Being business started with cash. Right? Wrong. The entry is cash account data to Ram's capital account. Is it clear? Okay. Let us move on the next transaction. 2019, March 2nd, cash deposited into Canara Bank, rupees 60,000. This is the transaction. Cash deposited into Canara Bank. That means business is depositing cash into the bank. What happened here? Cash is going out of the business. Who is the receiver? Canara Bank. Canara Bank is the receiver of the cash and cash is going out of the business. Then what are the two accounts involved here? One is Canara Bank account and the one is cash account. So the two accounts involved are Canara Bank account and cash account. Then what is the nature of these accounts? Canara Bank. Is it comes under personal account, real account or nominal account? Yes, it comes under personal account. In the personal account, it belongs to artificial person. What is the principle of personal account? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here, Canara Bank is receiving the cash. So, Canara Bank account is debited. So, cash comes under which account? It comes under real account. What is the principle of real account? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Here, cash is going out of the business. So, cash account should be credited. So, the entry is Canara Bank account data to cash account. What is the entry? Canara Bank account data to cash account. Write in the format. What is the date? 2019, March 2nd. Write in the date column. Write the entry in the particulars column. That is Canara Bank account data to cash account. Canara Bank account data to cash account. What is the narration? Narration is nothing but brief description of the transaction. Being cash deposited into Canara Bank. What is the amount? 60,000, right? 60,000 in debit column against debit account and write 60,000 in credit column against credit account. Dear children, after entering the transaction, after writing the narration, you have to make a line in a particulars column. This line does not go beyond the particulars column. So why we make a line here? We have to separate one transaction to another. In this slide, I am using one transaction first slide. You need not to write format every time. You write the entries in your notebook one by one. One after one, you make a line to separate one transaction and another transaction. Is it clear? Okay. So, what is next transaction? On 2019, March 4th, purchased from Rama, rupees 4,000. You always remember, purchased means purchase of goods. So, is it cash transaction or credit transaction? So, whenever we purchasing goods from the supplier, whenever the supplier name is given in the transaction, In the absence of cash information, it is treated as credit transaction. Here, we are purchasing from Rama. For what? For cash? Is it given here? No. So then it is a credit transaction. So purchased from Rama. So we purchasing goods. Then what is coming into the business? Goods are coming into the business. Purchase account. One account is purchase account. Who is the giver? Rama. So the two accounts are affected here. Purchase account and Rama account. Sorry. Purchases is an expenditure to the business. So it is an expenditure. So it belongs to which account? It belongs to nominal account. So what is the principle of nominal account? Debit all the expenses and losses, credit all the incomes and gains. So here purchase is an expenditure. So this account is debited. So Rama belongs to which account? Personal or real or nominal? Yes, she belongs to personal account, natural person. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here she is giving goods to the business. So her account is credited. So then what is the entry? Purchase account data to Rama account. What is the entry? Purchases account data to Rama account. Now you enter the journal book. So what is the date? 2019 March 4th, right? March 4th in date column. Write the entry in the purchase column. What is the entry? Purchases account data to Rama account. Purchases account data to Rama account. What is the amount? 4,000. What is the amount? 4,000. Right? 4,000 amount in debit amount column against debit account. Write 4,000 amount in credit column against credit account. After that, you write narration of the transaction. What is the narration? Being goods purchased on credit from Rama. Okay. What is the next transaction? On 2019 March 6th, purchased computer and paid by check rupees 15,000. So here we are purchased a computer and paid by check. What is coming into the business? Computer. What is going out of the business? A check. So check is related to bank. Check is related to bank. That means computer is coming into the business. So bank is paying the cash. So the two accounts affected are computer account and Canara Bank account. Here bank means Canara Bank. In the transaction they given, we have account with Canara Bank. So why we are taking this computer account? Why we are not taking purchase account? Because here we are not purchasing the goods. Here we are purchasing an asset. Whenever we purchase the asset account should be taken. When we take the purchase account, when we purchase the goods, then only we take the purchase account. If we purchase an asset account should be taken. So what is coming into the business? Computer. So who is paying? Canara Bank. We are paying by check. So the two accounts involved are computer account and Canara Bank account. So we identified the accounts. Then what is the nature? Computer is an asset. So asset, it belongs to which account? Real account. So what is the principle of real account? Debit what comes in. Credit what goes out. Here computer is coming into the business. Asset is coming into the business. So asset account should be debited. So computer account should be debited. So Canara Bank, it belongs to which account? Personal account. In the personal account, artificial person. Okay. So what is the principle? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here Canara Bank is paying amount. She is the giver. Is giver of the cash. So Canara Bank account should be created. Then what is the entry? Computer account data to Canara Bank account. Is it clear? Let us post in journal book. So what is the date? March 6th. March 6th. What is the entry? Computer account data to Canara Bank. Right in the particulars column. Computer account data to Canara Bank account. What is the amount? 15,000. Write 15,000 in debit amount column against debit account. And write 15,000 against credit account column, credit account in credit amount column. So what is the narration? Being computer purchased and paid by check. Being computer purchased and paid by check. On 2019, March 9, Ram withdraw cash for his personal expenses, rupees 5,000. So what is the transaction? Ram. Who is Ram? He is the owner of the business. He is withdrawing cash for his personal expenses. So that nothing but personal use, domestic use. So what is going out of the business? Cash. Who is the receiver of the cash? Ram. So the two accounts affected are drawings account and cash account. The two accounts affected are drawings account and cash account. So who is the one? What is the name of the owner? Ram. Whenever the owner withdraw cash for personal use, instead of writing his name, we write his drawings account. So what is the nature of drawings account? It is a personal account. So in the drawings means it related to owner. So it is a personal account. The principle of personal account is debit the receiver. Here Ram is the receiver, so his account is debited. Cash comes under real account. What is the real account principle? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So here cash is going out of the business. So cash account should be created. Then what is the entry? Ram's drawings account. Whenever owner withdraw cash for his personal use, instead of writing his name, we write his drawings account. The entry is Ram's drawings account data to cash account. Ram's drawings account data to cash account. Right in the journal book. The date 2019 March 9. Ram's drawings account data to cash account. Being cash withdrawn for personal expenses. What is the amount? 5,000. So these 5,000 entered in debit amount column against debit account, credit amount column against credit account. And write a line under particulars column. Separate one entry from another. 2019 March 13, furniture purchased for rupees 10,000. So what we purchased? Furniture. So here we are not purchasing goods. We are purchasing furniture. Furniture means an asset. So what is coming into the business? Furniture. So what is going out of the business? Cash. What are the two accounts involved here? One is furniture account and the one is cash account. The two accounts involved are furniture account, cash account. So both furniture, cash, both comes under which account? Real account. Both are comes under real account. Then what is the principle of real account? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So what is coming into the business? Furniture. What is going out of the business? Cash. Then furniture account is debited, cash account is credited. Both comes under real account. So the furniture account is debited, cash account is credited. Then what is the entry? Furniture account data to cash account. Furniture account data to cash account. So let us post in journal book. What is the date? March 13. March 13. So entry is furniture account data to cash account. What is the entry? Furniture account data to cash account. Being furniture purchased and paid by cash. So what is the amount? 10,000. Write 10,000 in debit amount column and write 10,000 in credit amount column against their accounts. Against their accounts. After that, make a straight line in particulars column. And 2019, March 15th, returned goods to Rama. Returned goods to Rama rupees 500. That means we are returning the goods. We are returning the goods. So how the goods come into the business? Whenever we purchase the goods are coming into the business. So here return means which return? Is it purchase return or sales return? How the goods coming into the business? In the form of purchase. Whenever we make the return, it is a purchase return. So who is the receiver of the goods? Rama. Rama is receiving. We are returning the goods that are coming into the business in the form of purchase. Purchase is an expenditure to the business. Now we are returning the goods, so we have to reduce the expenditure. So the purchase return account is credited. So what is the two accounts involved? Rama account, purchase return account. So Rama is a personal account, natural person. So what is the principle? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. So actually purchase is an expenditure. Here we are returning the goods. That means our expenditure is reducing. So we have to credit the purchase return account. Student, you make a note here. Purchase account always debit. Purchase return account always credit. So then what is the entry? Rama account data to purchase return account. What is the entry? Rama account data to purchase returns account. What is the date? March 15, 2019. March 15, the entry is Rama account data to purchases return account. So what is the amount? 500. Write 500 in debit amount column and write 500 in credit amount column against their accounts. What is the narration? Being goods returned to Rama. On 2019, March 18, Amir returned goods rupees 1000. Amir returned goods 1000. Here, Amir is returning goods. That means goods are coming into the business. So someone, that is Amir, is returning the goods. That means, is it purchase return or sales return? Here it is a sales return. How Amir is returning? That means goods already we sold to the Amir. Now it is returning into the business. It is a sale return. Who is Amir? Here he is the giver of the goods. So what is this goods? Sales return. So the two accounts involved are sales returns account and Amir account. Generally, sale is a income. So sale return means we have to reduce the income. So it should be debited. So Amir is a personal account. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here he is the giver of the goods to the business. So his account should be credited. So the entry is sales returns account data to Amir account. What is the entry? Sales returns account data to Amir account. What is the date? 2019 March 18. You write the month and date, and the entry is sales returns account data to Amir account. Narration is being goods returned by Amir. What is the amount? 1000. Write 1000 in debit column against debit account and write 1000 in credit column against credit account. And 2019 March 20th, advertisement expenses paid rupees 1000. Here we are paying the expenses. What is the head of the expenditure? Advertisement. For the advertisement expense, we are paying the advertisement expenses. That means cash is going out of the business. So the two accounts involved in this transaction are, one is advertisement account and the other one is cash. Advertisement is an expenditure, so it belongs to nominal account. So what is the principle of nominal account? Debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. So here advertisement is an expenditure, so the advertisement account is debited. So cash comes under real account. What is the principle of real account? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Here we are making paid. Paid means cash is going out of the business. So credit what goes out. Here cash is going out. So cash account should be credited. So then what is the entry? Advertisement account data to cash account. What is the entry? Advertisement account data to cash account. Now post on journal book. What is the date? March 20. March 20th. Advertisement account data to cash account. Being advertisements expenses paid. What is the amount? 1,000. Write 1,000 in debit amount column against debit account. Write 1,000 in credit amount column against credit account and make a line under the narration. 2019, March 23rd, deposit cash into Canara Bank. Rupees 3,000. Here, we are depositing cash, business cash in the bank. So, cash is going out of the business. And who is the receiver? Canara Bank. The two accounts involved are, one is Canara Bank, another one is cash. So, Canara Bank is related to which account? Personal account, artificial person. So, cash is a real account. So, what is the principle of personal account? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. So, here, who is the receiver of this cash? Canara Bank. So, Canara Bank account should be debited. Cash is going out of the business. So, cash account should be credited. So, the entry is Canara Bank account data to cash account. The entry is Canara Bank account data to cash account. Now, post in the journal book. March 23rd, Canara Bank account data to cash account. What is the narration? Being cash deposited into Canara Bank. What is the amount? 3,000. What is the amount? 3,000. Post 3,000 in debit amount column against debit account and 3,000 in credit amount column against credit account. And write a straight line in the particulars column. Should not go beyond the particulars column. Okay. On 2019, March 25th, goods withdrawn for personal work. Goods withdrawn for personal work. Personal work means domestic use, personal use. Who is withdrawing? The owner. The owner is withdrawing goods for personal work. So what is going out of the business? Goods. Who is the receiver? Owner. What is the name of the owner? Ram. That means using the goods for personal use. What is going out of the business? Goods. The goods comes into the business in the form of purchase. Whenever we purchase the goods, goods are coming into the business. So the two accounts involved are drawings account and purchase account. So purchase account always shows in the debit. Purchase account always debit, except in one situation, that is whenever the owner withdraw goods for his personal use, then only the purchase account appears in the credit. Except this situation, in every time it appears in the debit only. Purchase account every time appears in the debit, except whenever the owner withdraw goods for personal use, it appears in the credit. Okay. Ram is a personal account. Debit the receiver. So his account should be debited. So purchase, here he is using the goods. So purchases, that means purchase expenditure should be reduced. So we are creating the purchase. So whenever owner withdraw cash for his personal use, we write his drawings account. So the entry is Ram's drawings account data to purchase account. Ram's drawings account data to purchase account. What is the date? March 25th. Write date in the date column. And what is the entry? Ram's drawings account data to purchases account. Ram's drawings account data to purchases account. Narration: being goods withdrawn for domestic use. Domestic use, personal use, give same meaning. Okay. So what is the amount? 2,000. Write 2000 in debit amount column against debit account. Write 2000 in credit amount column against credit account and make a line in the purchase column. On 2019, March 27, cash paid to Ramesh rupees 3,900 and discount received 100. So what is happening here? Make a focus on this transaction. Here we get the compound entry. So what is compound entry? If any transaction, there are more than one in debit and more than one in credit accounts. So more than one account in debited or more than one account credited, then it is called compound entry. So see the transaction. Cash paid to Ramesh, 3,900. How much we are paying cash? 3,900. So how much cash going out of the business? 3,900. Discount received. That means we are received 100 discount. Who is the receiver? Ramesh. Who is the receiver? Ramesh. Here, 3 accounts involved here. Here, 3 accounts involved. What are they? One is Ramesh account. Ramesh account comes under personal account. Next one, discount cash account and discount account. Cash account, real account. And the third one is discount received account. So here, 3 accounts are involved. What are they? Ramesh account, cash account, and discount received account. What is the nature of Ramesh account? Personal account. What is the nature of cash account? Real account. What is the nature of discount received account? Nominal account. All the 3 accounts involved here. So accounts are classified into 3 types: personal account, real account, and nominal account. These 3 accounts are involved in this transaction. Okay. Ramesh is the receiver of the goods. Personal account, debit the receiver. So Ramesh account should be debited. Okay. Cash comes under real account. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Here cash paid. Paid means it is going out of business. That means cash is going out. So cash account should be credited. Credit what goes out. So third one is discount received. Received means income. So nominal principle, debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. So here it is an income which should be credited. What are the 3 accounts? Ramesh account, cash account, and discount received account. So actually we have to pay 4,000 to the Ramesh. So in that we paid 3,900 to Ramesh and we received a 1,000. How much we have to pay cash to Ramesh? 4,000. So Ramesh account is debited with 4,000. And how much we paid? 3,900. And how much discount we received? 100. So then the entry is Ramesh account data to cash account to discount received account. The entry is Ramesh account data to cash account to discount received account. What is the date? On March 27, 2019, March 27. Ramesh account data to cash account to discount received account. See, here in debit, there is 1 account. In the credit, there are 2 accounts. So this type of transaction are called compound entries. The entry is Ramesh account data to cash account to discount received account. How much cash we paid? 3,900. How much discount received? 100. So what is the total of this credit? Credit amount 3,900 plus 100. Total is 4,000. The 4,000 is debited in debit amount column against Ramesh account. Why we are making 4,000? The rule of double entry bookkeeping system. Always debit amount always equal to credit amount. Here we have to pay 4,000 to the Ramesh, but we paid 3,900 cash and we received the discount from Ramesh is 100. So the narration is being cash paid to Ramesh and discount received. Make a line, particulars column. On 2019, March 28, cash received from Ramu rupees 2,800 and discount allowed rupees 200. See, this is also compound entry. Cash received from Ramu. So what is coming into the business? Cash. Who is giver of the cash? Ramu. And discount allowed. So the three accounts involved are cash account, Ram account, and discount account. What is coming into the business? Cash. Cash account, discount allowed account, and Ramu account. Here also three accounts involved. Cash comes under which account? Real account. According to this principle, debit what comes in. Here cash is coming into the business, so cash account is debited. Discount allowed is an expenditure to the business. So that means it related to nominal account. According to the nominal account, debit all expenses and losses. So discount allowed account is debited. And finally, Ramu account is personal account. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here, he is the giver of the cash, so his account should be created. So the entry is cash account data, discount allowed account data to Ramu account. Cash account data, discount allowed account data to Ramu account. So enter in the journal book. What is the date? March 28. Cash account data, discount allowed account data to Ramu account. So how much cash we received? 2,800. How much discount we allowed? 200. Actually, we have to receive 3,000 from the Ramu, but we given a discount. We allowed a discount 200. That means we received cash 2,800. So the narration is being cash received from Ramu and discount allowed him. So how much cash received? 2,800. Discount allowed 200. Total 3,000 in the credit amount column, and make a line in the particulars column. Dear children, if you observe this true transaction, I want to say one technique here. So this discount allowed or discount received, it always follows with the cash. If the cash account is created, discount account also created. If cash account is debited, discount account also debited. But here discount allowed is an expenditure, discount received is an income. So this discount account always follows the cash account. Here I want to tell a technique, that is discount account. It may be allowed or received. In the given transaction, it always follows with the cash. If cash account is debited, the discount also moves to debit. Cash account created, the discount also goes to credit. This is one technique. Remember, don't confuse whether we have to debit the discount or credit the discount. It always follows to the cash account. On 2019, March 29, cash withdrawn from bank for office use. Here keyword is office use, not for domestic use. The keyword here, office use. So we withdraw from the bank. That means bank is the giver of the cash. So where the cash is going? So cash is coming into the business. So cash is coming into the business. Who is the giver? Bank. The two accounts involved are cash account and Canara Bank account. So cash is a real account. So according to the real account, debit what comes in. Here cash is coming into the business. So cash account should be debited. Canara Bank, artificial person, personal account, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here Canara Bank is giving the cash. So Canara Bank account should be created. So the entry is cash account data to Canara Bank account. Cash account data to Canara Bank account. Let us post in journal book. What is the date? 2019, March 29. So what is the entry? Cash account data to Canara Bank account. Write the entry in the particulars column. Cash account data to Canara Bank account. What is the amount? 6,000. Write 6,000 in debit amount column against debit account, and write 6,000 in credit amount column against credit account. What is the narration? Being cash withdrawn for office use, and make a straight line in the particulars column. Should not go beyond the particulars column. 2019 March 31st. Salaries paid by check. Salaries paid by check, rupees 8,000. So paid means it is a payment. It is an expenditure. What is the head of the expenditure? Salaries. How we are paying? Whether we are paying in cash or check. We are paying check. You remember that check means bank. So who is paying? On behalf of us, the bank is paying. So the two accounts involved are salaries account and bank account. The two accounts involved are salaries account and bank account. Canara Bank. So salary is an expenditure. So it belongs to nominal account. According to the nominal account, debit all expenses and losses. So salaries account should be debited. Canara Bank, personal account, artificial person. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. So Canara Bank is the giver of the cash. So Canara Bank account should be created. So the entry is salaries account data to Canara Bank account. Salaries account data to Canara Bank account. So write in the journal book. What is the date? 2019 March 31st. Write March 31st in date column. What is the entry? Salaries account data to Canara Bank account. What is the amount? 8,000. Write 8,000 in debit amount column and write 8,000 in credit amount column against their accounts. Against their accounts. Narration is being salaries paid by check. Being salaries paid by check. Make a straight line in particulars column. Dear students, let us see one more problem from page number 64, question number 7. Past journal entries in the books of Mr. Anthony. Past journal entries in the books of Mr. Anthony. Seventh question is a seventh question in your textbook. Journalize the following transaction. Journalize the following transaction. Let us draw the format of journal. Let us draw the format of journal. Date, particulars, LF, debit amount, credit amount. Date, particulars, LF, debit amount, credit amount. And write the title. What is the title? Journal entries in the books of Mr. Anthony. Journal entries in the books of Mr. Anthony. Okay. Let us see the first transaction. What is the first transaction? On 2019, March 1st, Mr. Anthony commenced business with cash rupees 13,000 and stock rupees 7,000. So Anthony, he is the owner. He is commenced. Commenced means started business with cash. He is providing cash 30,000 and stock worth 7,000. Then what is coming into the business? Cash and stock. Both are coming into the business. In the previous transaction, every time the owner is providing only cash. But in this transaction, the owner is providing cash and stock. That means both are coming into the business. Cash and stock. Who is the giver of the cash and stock? Anthony. So the third account affected here is Anthony. He is the owner. He is the owner. So cash, cash and stock. Both are comes under real account. What is the principle of real account? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Here cash, stock, both are coming into the business. So this cash account, stock account, both are debited. So Anthony, he is the owner. So whenever the owner provides the cash or stock or assets, his account should be debited. Sorry, credited. The entry is cash account data, stock account data to Anthony's capital account. Cash account data, stock account data to Anthony's capital account. Right in the journal book. What is the date? 2019 March 1st. 2019 March 1st. Cash account data, stock account data to Anthony's capital account. What is it? How much cash? 13,000. Right in debit amount column, 13,000 against cash, 7,000 against stock. And what is the total of this debit? 13,000 plus 7,000. Total is 20,000. That 20,000 is created to Anthony's capital account. The amount is written 20,000 in credit amount column. Being business started with cash and stock. Write a straight line in the particulars column. 2019 March 2nd, bought plant rupees 5,000. What does it mean by bought? Bought means purchase. What we purchased? Plant. Here we are not purchasing goods. We are purchasing plant. Plant is an asset. So what is coming into the business? Plant. What is going out of the business? Cash. So here plant, cash, both are comes under real account. So what is the principle of real account? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Here plant is coming into the business, cash is going out of the business. So plant account is debited and cash account is credited. What is the entry? Plant account data to cash account. What is the entry? Plant account data to cash account. Right in the journal book. What is the date? 2019 March 2nd. Plant account data to cash account. What is the amount? 5,000. Write 5,000 in debit amount column against debit account and write 5,000 amount in credit amount column against credit account. Being plant purchased and paid by cash. Write a straight line in particulars column. 2019 March 3rd, paid for postage rupees 500. Here, the word paid itself says us, reveals us it is an expenditure. We are paying. Cash is going out for postage. For postage and stamps expenditure, we are paid rupees 500. That means it is an expenditure. So the two accounts involved in this transaction are, one is postage, the head of the expenditure, postage, and what is going out of the business? Cash. The two accounts are, one is postage account, another one is cash account. Postage is an expenditure. So expenditure means nominal account. Debit all expenses and losses. So postage account is debited. So cash comes under real account. So what is the principle? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Here cash is going out of the business. It is a paid. So cash is going out of the business. So cash account should be created. So the entry is postage account data to cash account. What is the entry? Postage account data to cash account. Write in the journal book. What is the date? March 3rd, 2019, March 3rd. Postage account data to cash account. Postage account data to cash account. What is the amount? 500. Write 500 in debit amount column against debit account and write 500 in credit amount column against credit account. What is the narration? Being postage expenses paid. Write a straight line in particulars column. 2019 March 5th, paid for sundry expenses. It is also payment. Paid means payment. Cash is going out of the business. So we are paying sundry expenses. Rupees 500. So the two accounts involved are, one is sundry expenses and the cash account. So expenses reveals that it is a nominal account. Debit all expenses and losses. So sundry expenses account is debited. Cash is coming into the business or going out of the business? Paid. Paid means going out of the business. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Here cash is going out of the business. So cash account should be credited. So the entry is sundry expenses account data to cash account. What is the entry? Sundry expenses account data to cash account. Write in the journal book. 2019 March 5th. Sundry expenses account data to cash account. Being sundry expenses paid. How much? 500. 500 in debit amount column against debit account. And write 500 in credit amount column against credit account. 2019 March 6th paid into bank rupees 10,000. Here paid means deposited. So we are not paying any expenditure to the bank. Here paid means we are depositing. So we are depositing our cash into the bank. Who is the receiver of the cash? Bank. What is going out of the business? Cash. So the two accounts involved are, one is bank account and cash account. Bank account and cash account. Bank account belongs to personal account, artificial person. Cash comes under real account. Okay. Then what is the principle for personal account? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Bank is the receiver of the cash. So bank account is debited. Cash is going out of the business. So according to the real account, it should be created. So the entry is bank account data to cash account. The entry is bank account data to cash account. Write in the journal book. Date March 6, 2019, March 6, bank account data to cash account, being cash deposited into bank. How much amount? 10,000. Write 10,000 in debit column against bank account, that is debit account, and write 10,000 in credit amount column against credit account. On 2019 March 7, paid salaries. It is also an expenditure. Here we are paying cash. Paid means cash is going out of the business. We are paying salaries to the employees. So salaries is an expenditure. So the two accounts involved are salaries account and cash account. Paid means cash is going out of the business. So the two accounts involved are, one is salaries account and another one is cash account. Salary is an expenditure. So expenditure, so it belongs to which account? Nominal account. Debit all expenses and losses. So salary account is debited. Cash is coming into the business or going out of the business? Paid means going out of the business. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. It is going. So it should be credited. So the entry is salaries account data to cash account. The entry is salaries account data to cash account. Write in the journal book. What is the date? March 7. On March 7, the entry is salaries account data to cash account. What is the entry? Salaries account data to cash account, being salaries paid by cash. What is the amount? 5,000. Write 5,000 in debit amount column against debit account and write 5,000 in credit amount column against credit account. 2019 March 9, cash withdraw from bank for office use. We have to think whether it is office use or personal use. So the keyword is here office use. That means we withdraw cash from the bank and it is coming into the business. So what is coming into the business? Cash. Here it is not taken by the owner. It is coming into the business. So the two accounts involved are cash account and bank account. So cash comes under real account. Debit what comes in. Bank is a personal account. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. So bank account should be created. So the entry is bank cash account data to bank account. The entry is cash account data to bank account. Write in the journal book. Cash account data to bank account. What is the date? March 9th. On March 9th, cash account data to bank account. How much amount? 1,200. 1,200 write in debit amount column and 1,200 write in credit amount column against their accounts. And the narration is being cash withdrawn from bank for office use. And make a straight line in particulars column. Is it clear? Dear children, so far you learned classification of accounts and accounting principle. I explained 4 problems on journal entries. So you have to solve the following problem. Journalize the following transaction in the books of Dinesh on 2019 April 1st. Dinesh started business with cash rupees 50,000. And on 2nd, sale of goods for cash 10,000. On 4th, purchase goods for cash 15,000. On 6th, sold plant and machinery for cash rupees 5,000. And 10th, cash paid to Rahim 3,000. And 14th, salaries paid 8,000. First, you have to think and try to understand the given transaction and identify the two accounts involved and apply the nature of the account and principles of the account and write in the journal book. Thank you, children. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you. Thank you, madam. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. See, children, how well sir has explained to you. Same thing you have to remember. See, every time whenever you are doing your accounts, how sir has said that every single entry you have to memorize. What is coming in, what is going out, whether this person is receiving or is giving, or what is the, whether it's an expenditure or an income. These children, now golden rules are not only for this journal entry chapter. These are once you are stepping to C. That means here now onwards you are accounting students. So in your whole lifetime, this golden rule only will help you to become an accounting officer, or you can be a CEO of any company also. You must know this is the basic. Like for every subject, for every language, there are the alphabets. In the same way for accounts also, these are the alphabets for you. These are the basic rules. Without this, you can't understand, you can't do the account. So, like same basic, how many times, how many entries are explained, that many times sir has repeated the rules for every entry. So in the same way, even you, when you are writing the problem in your notebook, for every entry, read the question, find out, identify what are the two accounts in that, what is happening, whether it's coming or going, or we are receiving or the given, or the expenditure or income. First, then what you have to do, decide in your mind what is the entry. Write down. Like for example, cash is. Cash is there, sales are there. So cash is coming, goods are going. So we are writing cash to sales account. Like that, children, it must run in your mind. You have to memorize for every entry. Why? Because it's a very interesting chapter you learn in the second year, errors. That means unless and until you know a correct journal entry, you can't do the corrections in entry. That errors, that very interesting chapter. To do that chapter, you need to know this journal entries very well. Okay, children? So with this session, we have completed one first accounting chapter. That means practical part we have completed. Next, in accounts, we have ledger accounts. But the next session, again, we have to shift to theory part. We will be coming back with partnership, theory part. Okay, children, try to complete this accounting part, journal chapter in the textbook. How many questions are there? All the questions you try to write in your register. And very soon, hoping going to schools, so you have to complete this chapter, write in your notes, and show to after going to school, college, you can show to your concerned teachers. Okay, they'll be very happy, like you have completed one chapter, learning perfectly. So, children, you have to concentrate, you have to understand, see how well sir has explained with full patience. The class was really very good. You have a great patience, you have explained very well. So I hope students have understood the topic. Okay, children. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Children, try to complete the work what sir has given. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.